Yes, yes, yes! Here we are! Ah, fuck me. It feels good to be back. And damn right, it is an edgy name. That's me, an edgy boy. Here I am, Louis Vuitton, back again. It has been far, far too long, my friends. I I'm sorry. I have to apologize. I am sorry. It has been, I believe, over 2 months since my last stream. And I'm sorry. I mean, I talk about how much I love streaming, and I do. I love it. I get so much out of it. It is so fulfilling. But shit has just been crazy. It's just been too crazy the last couple of months. Uni got too much, and there's been so much drama at university that something had to go. And that something was streaming. Not to mention, we had to go through another lockdown here in Melbourne. So that shut down. I know, we had to go through 2 lockdowns because there was a short, 3-day one. And that cut my gym. So that affected me as well. So bad. It feels so good to be back. As someone who used to boast, and rightfully so, about streaming every day, and I did. For a time, I did. Didn't do a good job about it. So hey, I'm sorry, but now I'm back. I am back and ready to get at it. We have a fantastic day ahead of us. I have a great stream planned. I have another stream planned for tonight for the Australians. Another banger! So hey, I'll say it right here at the start. I'm Louis Vuitton, and I'm an Australian streamer, left-wing streamer. I talk about workers' rights, indigenous rights, trans rights, all that good stuff. Oh, and masculinity. I love to talk about masculinity. I have a video planned, a prepared piece of content talking about masculinity. That's going to be fun. Also, again, I'm sorry about the lack of prepared content. I've been promising an Amazon breakdown video for ages now, and I haven't got around to it. So hey, it'll get done, alright? I've got it planned. I'll try and get it done in the next couple of weeks. I'm dealing fantastically with the latest lockdown. What is that? If read this gay. Damn right. Because it was only had it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks and that was it. And we're out now. Because hey, when you do a lockdown right, it works. Sorry. If America's governors had half the sense of any of the Australian premiers, Australian version of a governor, then you wouldn't be in the mess that you find yourselves now. And look, as much as I'll shit on the right-wing governors of Australia, all of them are still better than just about any of the American governors. Now, you have trumped us with your vaccine rollout, but again, we have such a useless Prime Minister. I mean, I'll say this about Joe Biden and Trump, actually. Both of their vaccine rollouts trumped Australia's. No pun intended. I haven't had any of the vaccines, as you can tell, because I still have my beard and I haven't grown tits. So, I'll have to see about getting on that soon, but hey. I mean, while we should still get the vaccine, and while you must get the vaccine, while you don't have the right to refuse unless you have some kind of underlying health condition, our lockdowns have worked pretty well, so I'm feeling pretty safe. But yes, get the vaccine, alright? So, what is the time? Alright. just chill, alright? Everyone take a chill. So much has happened since I last streamed. It's been, oh my god. Like, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but the Derek Chauvin trial. Yeah, the vaccine rollout, Biden's first 100 or 120 days. Yeah. There's been a lot happening. There's been a lot happening with me. Like I said, university's been crazy. It's been... I was going to say that it's been fun. I don't know how fun it's actually been. It's actually been kind of painful. Not the university. It's like the university. The work has been fine. Like the work is always fulfilling and enjoyable going through. But my god. Okay, so relating to that, you're now looking at somebody who's officially started his political career for real. A couple months ago, I was elected to my student representative body at my university. So, hey, that's pretty cool. One of 16 people, elected by the people, voted in an election, preferential voting. Not bad for somebody who did zero campaigning. I was just too busy at the time, right? Campaigning took a back seat. But hey, I was elected because I networked. At the start of the year, I joined as many social clubs as I could, met as many people as I could, and that's how you get elected. Networking. It is a little bit of a popularity contest, and plus, there's always those elected to student unions and such are never really representative of the cohort, because a minority always votes. And this last election had historically low voter turnout. At a campus of about 40,000 people, we had something like 1,000 people vote. Nothing. But hey, that's how you get elected. Networking. So that's where all the drama's been coming from. Because, well, it was a new student representative body, and a group of people, a political faction, they tried to get a bunch of their people in. And it's a very long story, but they kind of had their own agenda. And so I was, trying to rally the independents to stop that. And it would have worked if it weren't for those meddling socialists. Because in the end, the socialists on the council flipped in favour of the political faction, because they made a deal. There was 3 vacancies on the council, so they made a deal to fill 2 of them for their own people. And the political faction could have 1 of the vacancies. So they knew the kind of people that they were and how they run their politics. But filling those spots with their own people was more important to them than any kind of political integrity. So once again, socialists proving they know nothing about pragmatic politics. Imagine my shock. I'm a white racist gay frog. Hello. Oh shit. They turned the frogs gay, but they couldn't stop them from being racist. Suspect Sushi, I feel like I know that name. Have I seen you hanging around? Who's chat? I feel like that name sounds so familiar. Is it Xanderhall's chat? I've heard that. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. It sounds familiar. Hey, but you failed to mention if you were a police officer or not. And on the topic of police officers, I know it's old news, but hey, like I said, I haven't streamed in a while. I want to talk about, a little bit about the Derek Chauvin trial. I'm an evil name and an evil person. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, I'm watching you. Just keep your nose clean and we'll have fun, alright? I don't mind a little bit of edginess, but hey, let's just keep it chill. Anyway, Derek Chauvin trial. Now, I'm showing my bias as a foreigner. As somebody who follows American media and American politics fairly closely, and probably just about as familiar as you can be as a foreigner without someone who's actually living there and involved with it, the reactions to the Derek Chauvin, the verdict of guilty, really surprised me. Because, if you just asked me, like, how is he going to be sentenced, I would have said, oh, yeah, guilty. Like, yeah, absolutely. There's no chance that he's going to walk free. Now, I'm aware of just how many police officers get away with straight up executing people. But I felt like, in this instance, given the video footage, given the results of the autopsy, given the public outcry, there's no way that he could be found innocent. At least of not the lesser charges, like maybe attempted murder, innocent of that, but like surely he would face jail time. Now, again, I know like there's been so many cases of police officers getting away with killing people, but again, if you just I'm showing my bias as an Australian, as someone who's not an actual American. There's a podcast called Deep Fat Fried that I follow pretty regularly and have since it was first created. That's with amazing atheist TJ Kirk, his brother Scotty, and Paul Zigo. I definitely recommend you check it out. But they do a segment on their show once a week, a news segment where they go through the news of the week. And at the result of the Derek Chauvin trial, like all three of them were expressing surprise. Paul talked about when the trial, when the verdict was actually being given down, he was live streaming it at the time, and he showed his reaction, the video of his reaction, and he was shocked. Like the all three of them were shocked about the actual result of guilty of all three charges, and that just blew my mind. Like I don't know what else to say. If you'd asked me straight up, what's he going to be, guilty or innocent? I would have said, oh, absolutely guilty. But the fact that they were that surprised that there is so much of this culture around the police, never being held accountable, for anything. Where even when we're at the point of the Derek Chauvin trial, that would still be seen. The possibility was still very much there that he would be found innocent of at least manslaughter. It's just crazy. So hey, I would hope that given the culture, the conversation around policing, about defunding, abolition, accountability, I would hope that this is a step in the right direction towards holding the police accountable. I was keeping a close eye on the right-wing media throughout that time, and of course, the Daily Wire, Stephen Crowder, everybody's talking about how Derek Chauvin has been crucified on the altar of BLM to appease the mob, which just seems crazy because for years, since forever, the police in America have gotten away with the murder of people who have committed very minor crimes or no crime at all. Since I don't know, I can't remember if it was after the trial or before, But, you know, like the killing of Daunte Wright, Micaiah Bryant, which is a different situation. Obviously, that's not straight up execution, as we saw in the case of George Floyd. Um, but there's still like conversation about police accountability is a mainstream talking point now, and there's so many cases where like justice wasn't dealt, justice wasn't served to like all victims of police brutality. You know, like people on the right like to throw out Tony Tampa as a white guy who was killed by the police. Oh, why do you never talk about him? We should. We do. Like, my, like, my eagerness for police accountability isn't just about black victims of police brutality, it's about all victims of police brutality. Obviously, there's an intersection of race, but yes, absolutely. All victims of police brutality. All cops. Where is it? It says, I got it right here. And that's another thing. When I get some money together, I already have some, but I'm going to get as many patches as I can and cover this jacket. I want to get a big one, a big square on the back that says fuck cops. So, to get an idea of the conversation around cops and police brutality and police accountability, I have a little clip for us to watch. This came out after the shooting of Daunte Wright. Now, let's see.
Also, I'm going to say...
Chill out, alright? We'll get to that in a minute. Now, if you don't remember, a brief summary, Daunte Wright was the man who was stopped by the police. They found that there was a warrant for his arrest because he failed to attend a hearing. However, public records show that the hearing summons was sent to the wrong address. So, yeah, when he attempted to flee, he was shot and killed. All because of an administrational error. Cool. Very normal society. Anyway, here is, unbelievably, Pat Robertson talking about violence by the police. Pat Robertson, of all people. Let's have a listen.
Also, I'm going to say, I think a lot of people are thinking like I was, that both the gun and the taser would be put on your dominant side, but it's not that way.
Yeah, but they have to cross where they have them different.
So you actually have to reach across yourself to
you
get
feel
the
difference.
I mean, it's definitely
there's just no
discernible
comparison. As I say, they're not making tasers in this yellow color anymore. They're making in black. They're making them yellow. Now, how she made the difference was she shot that poor guy to death, saying, "This is what I thought. I thought was my taser." And if you can't tell the difference in the feel of those things, it's crazy. Anyhow, she deserves. But I am pro-police, folks. I think we need the police. We need their servants, and they do a good job. But if they don't stop this onslaught, they cannot do this. The police in Virginia picked up a lieutenant in the Army and began to give him trouble. And our state police are highly trained. But why they don't stop this? And this thing is going on in Minnesota, but the Derek Chauvin, I mean, they ought to put him under the jail. He has caused so much trouble by kneeling on the death of George Floyd. It's just, on his neck. It's just terrible what's happening. And the police, why don't they open their eyes to what the public relations are? They've got to stop this stuff.
Maybe they need more training.
Pat Robinson. Pat Robinson gets it. Pat Robinson. Like, the scumfuck, huckster, grifting, Christian, televangelist, failed presidential run. Oh! Dixie Bowser, welcome to the community. Pat Robinson, of all people. Like, the guy who, after the Haiti, I think it was Haiti earthquake, grifted money from his viewers to support a supposed outreach that they were doing to the people affected by the disaster, who took their money and spent it on diving and dredge equipment to go dredging for diamonds in Haiti. The scum fuck who, let's be honest, stole diamonds from a country where its people were reeling after a terrible natural disaster. He is willing to admit that there's a problem with the culture of policing. What world are we living when Pat Robinson's 110-year-old ass is willing to say that, hey, maybe there's a problem with the police? He's not saying fuck the police. He's not saying defund or abolish the police. But he's saying there's a problem. Seriously. What the fuck? Like, don't get me wrong, I love it. Like, I love that he, of all people, is saying that. But, like, I can't impress upon it enough, on you enough, where we're at the point where even people as far right as he will admit that, yes, there's a problem with policing. Crazy. You are a racist writer. Only racist against, I tried to think of something funny. I got nothing. I don't know. Stick around and find out. Hipster ass Varg Vikness. Who is that? You're right about the hipster, though. I am from Melbourne. Unapologetically Melburnian. Unapologetically northern suburb. So, yeah. Ah. Norwegian musician. Very cool. Alright. So, yeah. I hope that Derek Chauvin enjoys his time in a correctional facility. I hope that he is rehabilitated and is, if possible, able to rejoin civilized society. And yeah, I hope that we continue to see police accountability for unjust police murders of whoever, whatever race they may be. Black, white, Asian, Middle Eastern, Indigenous. Anyone who is unjustly murdered by the police, I hope that there is accountability. Derek Chauvin is based, you're getting a ban. So yeah, fuck the police, all cops, no justice, no peace. Hello, Kevin. We seem to be getting some nice accent. Oh, God. Okay, well, thanks. I'm not really a fan of the Australian accent. I talked about this before, but I was actually born with a English accent. Despite being born in Australia. having lived my whole life in Australia, with both of my parents being from Australia. Unfortunately, over time, it has kind of melded a bit with the Australian accent. So I don't know. Maybe as much as I would like it back, I don't really want to go live in England for a few years and, you know, get it acclimatized, because oh my god, like 5 years ago, I would have loved to live in England, and I could because I've got UK grandparents, so I could live and work there without a visa. But oh, I can't imagine living in England now. Yeah, exactly. It is a mix. So hey. But anyway, if this is your first time here, despite being Australian, welcome. I stream at both American and Australian times. Because, like, let's be honest, the vast majority of the politics community, Twitch politics, is American. And I know, it's a bit of it's a ballsy move, alright? Streaming the same time as Hassan, Destiny, Vosh. But hey, gotta break in. And stream during Australian time. Doing streams for the Australians. Which is a more Australian-centric stream. I like that you're against racist cops. Hell yeah. Any racist cops who murder innocent black people should be fired. Absolutely. Any cop that murders any innocent person should be fired. Anyone who, any cop, like... I won't go that far. But hey, we need accountability. And that shit happens in Australia as well. I don't know if I don't have a link. But a couple... When was it? About a month and a half ago, there was two Indigenous women in... Was it Queensland? I think it was Queensland. And one of them was having a public mental episode where, ideally, some kind of mental health worker would rock up. But no, instead the police did. And they put her in cuffs. That's bound to calm her down. It's not okay just because the guy may have a lukewarm criminal background. No, it's not. This absolute the he was no angel argument. It doesn't, and here's the thing. It doesn't matter, if you did have a clean background. Like, by all accounts, Breonna Taylor was, the most nice, pure person. But it doesn't matter, Her boyfriend was a thug, or ex-boyfriend. It doesn't matter what kind of person you are. You could be, like a literal saint. And they would still defend it. Which is why, which is what the problem I had with the conversation around the Micaiah Bryant shooting. Now, as I just said earlier, it is a different situation. Obviously, it's more arguable that that shooting was justified. However, that's not the problem I have with that conversation. The problem I have with that conversation was that still, everyone on the right was reflexively defending the police. Now, I'm not saying... I'm not comparing Micaiah Bryant to George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, where in those cases the police's action is indefensible. But the problem I have is that instantly everybody was attacking Micaiah and defending the police officer's action without any kind of introspection or criticism. Now again, I'm absolutely willing to admit that in this instance, it's a more justified shooting. But that's not the point. The point is that you're not even looking at any of the details. You just reflexively, nah, cop did nothing wrong. She had a knife, justified. And we'll never know what happened in that moment because the only person's word we have is the cop, and he will say whatever he needs to protect himself. But I've seen the CCTV footage that shows him pulling up, getting out of the car, and walking very unhurriedly over to the scene. Now, again, we only have his word to go off, but just on my layman's observation, if he'd run, then maybe it could have been a different result. Who knows? Dylan Burns TV is live. Oh, man. Oh, no. Fuck. More big Twitch politics channels to compete with. Hey, it's all good. If you're enjoying the stream so far, I would love it if you would subscribe. My name is Louis Vuitton. I talk about lefty politics here on Twitch. I'm an Australian. I stream... Oh. Welcome, Kevin. Thank you. Yeah, I stream... Well, I ideally stream in the morning, my time for the Americans, so it's about midday Eastern time. And I also stream in the evening for the Australians, which are a more Australian-centric stream. Usually they'll be on topics that are more geared towards Australian politics, which I can't talk about now on American time because no one will find that interesting, because Australian politics is pretty boring. Like, really. Yeah, which is why I'm streaming now during American time for the Americans, because that's where the market is. Hey, that's capitalism. You've got to go where the demand is. Politics is absolutely weird. Like, here's the thing. I was talking with a girl recently about politics. And she told me that she was actually, like, this is so weird. She told me that she was intimidated, like a little bit intimidated, a little bit like put off by how much, like, it seemed I knew about some topics like politics, which is crazy to me because, like, I was intimidated by her because she is a couple of years older than me, like, working full time, like, very established in her career, and I felt very inadequate compared to her, because here I am, like, oh man, like 26, only now, like, studying full time, getting my life together, you know, like, working, like, a shitty part-time job. Oh, that's also new. I've got a part-time job now, which sucks. Hey, it'd mean a lot if you donate instead. I'd love for this to be my job, but anyway. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, politics is weird, and it's shit, but I can't help but love it. That's why I'm here. I'm a glutton for punishment, because politics is so punishing. I guess I just must be a masochist, alright? I'm a slut for politics. Politics is weird, but worth it. I don't know, is that a good tag? Politics is weird but worth it? It doesn't have quite the same spin as politics is dumb but very important. Louis Vuitton? No. Louis Baton, as in... Does it say it here? It does! As in... Where are we? Hang on. I don't know if you can read that. As in... Focus. Let me get myself out of the... No, it's still blurry. Alright, Baton de Colle. Long story. It's like a nickname from, like, junior high. Oh, more like, ooh, exactly. Communism? Communism. That's what I'm talking about. Also, if you're wondering why I'm drinking like a fish, again, it's early my time, so I've just woken up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the frames are dropping. No! All because I tried to show Baton de Colle. Damn. See, even in Australia, lefty streamers are not safe from the CIA. Once again, the CIA is sending their they're firing their low frame rate beam at my stream down here in Melbourne. I'm not safe anywhere. Ugh. I'm a furry. That's awesome. You do you, alright? Whatever makes you happy. Now, I wanted to talk. I wonder if we can get away with it. The CIA's low frame rate cannon is going to make things messy, but I had way more to talk about. But if that frame rate's going to be a problem, I don't know. I think. I mean, I know my stream, so I know my equipment that I stream with, so I don't know. I'm not confident so much about that hanging in there. So hey, cutting it a little early, but I'm going to be back tomorrow covering the rest of what I planned today. My name's Louis Vuitton. I'm an Australian left-wing streamer. Talk about workers' rights, trans, indigenous rights, masculinity as well. I love talking about masculinity and breaking it down, talking about what's hot and what's not. I stream both for the Australians in the evening my time and for the Americans morning my time, about midday for American. If you like the stream, it would mean a lot. If you would follow, don't have to worry about donating so much. All I want is your company. So hey, I love you all very much. And everybody, stay safe and take it easy.